One of the main goals of this channel is to help educate men on how today's women think and feel about and the double standards that they have towards men. And honestly, I think I'm pretty good at it. But I'm also willing to admit when someone is far better than me. For example,
Sprinkle Sprinkle.
Yep, that's right, Miss Sprinkle Sprinkle, the one who declares herself a dating and relationship coach, whose goal is to educate women on how they should view men and what they should expect from them. And I'll be honest, she does a far better job educating men than I could ever do, such as,
And every time they ask you out, oh, I'm sorry, I can't afford to go out. If they want to be seen out in public with you, they will pay.
They will pay. Yes, they will. And they'll pay in far more ways than just for the date. Because the entire shtick of her channel is to say that men exist simply to provide for women. That's their only reason for being. And because of that, you should try and get everything you can out of them, and that women owe them nothing in return. Don't believe me? Well,
I'm not bringing nothing to the table, baby. Sprinkle Sprinkle. If you want a woman to bring something to the table, go to IHOP, go to the restaurant where you can tip her.
now she's absolutely entitled to her views, and clearly it's working because she has several accounts and hundreds of thousands of followers. And if you go read the comments on those accounts, the ladies are lapping it up. In fact, I've read through many of them, and you know what I haven't seen? A single lady saying, no, that's not correct. So she is educating women that the only reason men exist is to provide money to them.
Feel bad asking for money? Do you think men feel bad asking for sex?
And this is the other thing that she's teaching women, that the only thing men want from women is sex, which, as we all know, is completely untrue. But see, she's got a narrative she's got to create, and she knows if she doesn't follow that narrative, the women aren't going to be on board. They're not going to hate men, because the whole goal is to see men as nothing more than mindless ogres that seek sex, instead of the reality, which is they're human beings.
I don't think you should feel bad at all. Men are supposed to give you money. You know why? Because they're trying to impress you, and what impresses you is money.
Well, to borrow a phrase,
I admire your honesty.
let's give credit where credit is due. You're actually saying out loud the part that every woman today thinks and feels, that it's all about the money and nothing more. That's how today's women think. Men exist simply to provide things to them. Before y'all go jumping on me for saying it's not all women, I remind you of one thing. She's got hundreds of thousands of followers, thousands upon thousands of comments, and I haven't seen a single one saying she's wrong. So before you come back at me with the I'm not being fair, it's not all women, head on over to her accounts and start telling her that. Start holding her accountable. Yet I already know you won't do it. And by not doing it, you're agreeing with what she's saying. Silence is complicity. And while I do know it isn't all women, gentlemen, we need to take the lesson that's being taught here. The lesson that we are nothing more than wallets to them. We aren't human beings. We're just mindless drones. Drones to be used to get as much out of with nothing offered in return. And you should know this before you decide to get involved in relationships with women. Because the odds are you're going to run into a woman like this more often than not. Sprinkle, sprinkle.